Mana tak nampak? Dah? Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Okay, how are you today? I hope you have a pleasant weekend. Okay, today again you are here with me, Noorzailatil Akmar binti Muhammad Zain. But as I told you in our previous session, you can call me Miss Ila. Okay, for today, I'm going to share some tips regarding SPM speaking test CEFR Align. I know you are aware of it and you have done lots of practices in your class with your teacher. So today will be just some kind of refreshment. Okay, let's jog your memory, just a revision for you. So okay, for today, for my session today, there are 3 parts. The first part will be focusing on the overview of what speaking test is all about, and then on the second part I will share the test format and followed by some tips, and I will wrap up my session by telling you or by sharing some common issues faced by students when they are sitting for speaking test. Okay, let's go to the first part, which is the overview. Okay, this is some basic knowledge. I think you are common with this. Okay, for your speaking test, the duration will be approximately around 13 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes will be the maximum. Okay, you should not exceed this. You might think that 13 minutes is very long, but you have to bear in mind 13 minutes is for 2 person. Okay, you are doing your speaking test in pair, so 13 minutes divided by 2, you have around 7 minutes to finish up the 3 parts of your speaking test. Okay, and okay, for your speaking test, there are parts where you are required to do some individual parts, some individual tasks, and it also have pair tasks, which is you need to have conversation or discussion with your pair. Individual parts and individual tasks and pair tasks, okay, I will show you in the latter part of my session. Okay, and for your speaking test, it carries 24 marks. Okay, the 6 marks is from the interlocutor. Okay, I'll tell you the interlocutor, who is the interlocutor later on, and then the remaining 18 marks is from the assessor. Okay. Okay, here, if you notice, we have interlocutor and the assessor. So there are 2 teachers who will be sitting with you in your speaking test room. Okay, and the test will be divided into 3 parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Okay, let's move it on. Okay, this is the 3 parts I mentioned earlier. Okay, for the first part of your speaking test, you will be having interviews, very short interviews, very simple interviews with the interlocutor. Okay, here in the first part, do not fear, do not worry. The question will basically relate to your personal knowledge, to yourself. Okay, the question is very simple. Okay, the interlocutor might ask you about your name and maybe where do you live, your hobbies, okay, that kind of question. So for part 1, okay, regard part 1 as a warm-up session before you start your actual speaking. Okay, and for part 1, do not worry if you started or if you pause a bit. For part 1, there are no marks given yet. Okay, no marks yet for part 1. Okay, so you actually please regard part 1 as a session for you to familiarize yourself with the situation in the test room. Okay, and then moving on to part 2. Okay, here you will have individual tasks. Okay, we call it as long-term tasks. Okay, I'll show sample question in the second part of my session, which is the task format. Okay, later on. Don't worry, I'll show you, I'll share the materials later on. Then for part 3, you will have discussion. Okay, discussion is where you need to work in pair. You need to discuss with your friend. Obviously, when you are doing discussion, you should talk with other person who are with you. Okay. Next. Okay, this is basically the layout, the seating in the classroom. Okay, you will have interlocutor sitting in front of you. Okay, CA and CB will be you. Okay, Okay, you and CB will be your friends. Okay, and sitting in front of you, separated by maybe a table here. Okay, here you have interlocutor. Interlocutor is actually your teacher. Okay, so you should be comfortable when your teacher is sitting in front of you. Your teacher will actually help you to sail through the speaking task. Okay, and if you notice, there is another person here. Okay, this is what we call as assessor. Okay, ASS will be the short form for the assessor. Okay, assessor would be the teacher from other school. Okay, you might find it very intimidated. Okay, you might be afraid of seeing someone new in your speaking room, in your speaking classroom. But keep in mind, the assessor is also a teacher. Obviously, she or he will not do anything harm to you. And the assessor will not speak to you. Okay, assessor will only give you marks during your test. Okay, the only person who will ask you question will be your teacher, the interlocutor. Okay, the assessor will stay silent at his or her place. Okay. Okay, interlocutor and assessor. Okay, as I mentioned, okay, the interlocutor will be your English teacher or any English teacher in your school. Okay, and the task, okay, the interlocutor part is where she or he manage the interaction with you. Okay, that's why I said the interlocutor will guide you. Okay, will help you to actually finish up the course of task. Okay, and then for interlocutor, you have the marks of 6. Okay, the interlocutor will score you 6 marks, the highest. Okay, based on the overall spoken performance scale. It means that the interlocutor, your teacher, will assess you based on your overall speaking performance that you have shown during your speaking test. Okay, and for the assessor, okay, assessor will be the teacher from other school. Okay, and the assessor will assess your performance based on grammar, vocabulary, and your communicative competence. Okay, grammar will be very basic one in your, what we call it, in your English communication skills. Okay, with grammar, without grammar, very little can be conveyed. But without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed. So, vocabulary and grammar should actually come hands in hands. It should blend together. If you have your vocabulary and your grammar is not you are not satisfied with your grammar, so you should start today and work on it. Okay, but at the same time, do not forget to work on your communicative competence. Communicative competence means how you deliver your words, how you accentuate your pronunciation, okay, how you stress, how your intonation. Okay, that will be catering on the communicative competence, whether you sound convincing or not. Okay, that will be, everything is under communicative competence. And for the assessor, okay, assessor will have 18 marks to give you. Okay, make sure you take this. Okay, make sure you grab the 18 marks, and then you have 18 marks from the assessor plus 6 marks from your teacher. So there you go, you have 20 marks, 24 marks, full marks. Okay, here. Alright. Okay, if I am talking too fast, do let me know. Okay, so I can slow down my pace, and if you have question, feel free to post it in the live chat and I will try to answer it. Now, moving on to the second part of my session, the test format. Okay, the first part of your speaking test, interview. Okay, interview will last around 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, for both of you. Not 3 to 4 minutes for you only, but 3 to 4 minutes will be both for you and your friends. Okay. For part 1, the aim of part 1 is to see whether you are able to give factual information about yourself. Factual information. The true information about yourself. Example, let's say I ask you, what is your name? So you should be able to tell me your real name. Okay, my name is Noorzailatil Akmar binti Muhammad Zain. Okay, that is actual information. Okay, and okay, for part 1, the aim is also to help you or to see whether the student can talk about present situation. Present situation means the current situation, the things that you are going through right now. Okay, for example, what did you eat for breakfast? Okay, that would be question, sample question. And for part 1, you might be also required to talk about your past experience. For example, have you have you done any exercise before? Okay, so past experience, present situation, and past experience. And it might also ask you about future plan. Future plans mean, okay, what will you do tomorrow? What is your plan tomorrow? Okay, how are you going to go back home after school? Okay, that will be your future plan. And you might be also required to give reason and explain for certain topic, for certain tasks. Okay, and expressing opinion. Okay, some question might require to give your opinion. So when you give your opinion, make sure you justify it. Okay, you cannot simply make statement and do not justify. Okay, for interlocutor in part 1, he or she will ask you 2 general questions related to yourself, related to the candidate. Okay, the candidate here will be you and your friend. Okay, and then 1 or 2 questions about a topic regarding daily routine. I hope you understand the meaning of daily routine. Okay, I'll show you sample later on. Okay, this is the sample question for part 1. Okay, for part 1, for phase 1, okay, this will be maybe some of question that the interlocutor might ask you. Okay, what is your name? Where do you live? Or where you come from? How do you come to school? Okay, this is, we call it as basic information. Factual basic information. Okay, and for phase 2, okay, phase 2 is more toward of asking about your routine. What do you do every day, almost every day, or every weekend? Okay, first, sample question here might ask you, okay, what do you normally do after you wake up? So every day, your routine every day after you wake up, what did you do? Yes, you might say, oh, you took shower, you have breakfast, or Okay, you might say that you do some chores at home after you wake up. And second sample question, okay, what do you usually do after coming back from school? Okay, the first one is after you wake up. Second, after coming back from school. Okay, here I've come across student answer this question as, okay, after I come back from school, I sleep. And then I wake up, I had lunch. Okay, that will be his or his routine. So the routine is actually depend on you. What you do. It should be related to you, not to other person. Okay. And 3, how do you spend your leisure time? Or what do you do on weekend? Okay, this type of question is very close to you. So you actually can practice this question and actually exercise on speaking. Okay, familiarize yourself with speaking. Okay, the phase 1, okay, part 1 question will not divert very far from this type of question. Okay. Okay, good morning, Kane. Okay, question from Kane. Will the interlocutor compare between you and your friend in terms of stuttering and time length to answer the question? Okay, the interlocutor will not be doing any comparing. Okay, the task is only to ask you question and give you mark. If you have stammering problem, okay, it is natural to you. You have stammer problem, so your teacher, the interlocutor, should not penalize you on that. But if you can speak as normal, but suddenly in exam you make lots of pauses, you hesitate too much, okay, it might hinder, it might impede your performance. Okay, do not worry. Your teacher will not compare between you and your friends. Okay. The mark given is solely based on your performance. Okay, I hope I answered your question, Kane. Okay, this is sample question for part 1. I know you have done lots of exercise with your teacher regarding this question. But okay, this is some sample answer for it. Okay, let's say, what is your name? Okay, so let's say I'm the candidate. So I should answer it as, okay, my name is Noorzailatil Akmar binti Muhammad Zain, but you can call me Akmar. Okay, the reason I put extra information here is because, okay, this is to help the assessor. As I mentioned, the assessor is not from your school, so he or she did not know you well, and sometimes your real name can be confusing. So it will be very helpful if you can provide your nickname there. Okay, it won't hurt you to tell the nickname. Okay, but you can call me Akmar. You can call me Noor. Okay, where do you live? I live in Taman Cendera, Jasin, Melaka. Okay, at least give the impression that you can speak. Okay, you should not simply say, oh, I live in Jasin. So the teacher, the assessor will take which part of Jasin, where in Jasin. Okay, so last one, a sample question. Okay, what do you usually do after coming back from school? Okay, this is my sample answer. I usually help my mother with the chores before taking a nap. Afternoon nap, I'll tell you, is very good, but you should not do it very often. Okay, after you come back to school, you should help your parents and do your revision. Okay. This is again another sample answer for part 1. Okay, you can read it here. It is almost very similar-ish. Okay, question number 1 is similar to the set 1, and question number 2. Question number 2 and question number 3 will be a bit different. Okay, how do you come to school? What do you do on weekend? Okay, for part 1, again, keep it in mind, this is a warm-up session. So Okay, make sure to make yourself feel comfortable, okay, before you start with the second part. Okay, part 2. Let's welcome again. Okay, part 2, individual long-term task. Okay, here the allocation of time is 3 to 4 minutes for both of you. Okay. Okay, for part 2, the students, the candidate are expected to explain and give reasons. Okay, second, you are also expected maybe to describe people, place and situation. Okay, and talk about the past, present and future experiences, or express and justify your opinion. Okay, based on the question given in part 2, you need to give more justification. Okay, you need to give more opinion. Okay, you need to explain more of it. Okay, remember part 2 is where your mark is start to be given by the interlocutor and the assessor. Okay, in part 2, both assessor and interlocutor will start assessing you and will give marks. Okay, this is a sample question for part 2. Okay, an outing with friends. Outing. I hope you understand the meaning of outing. It means that you went out with your friends. Okay, so the answer, the rubric says, talk about an outing you went with your friends recently. Okay, first, when you look at the task given, okay, you have 20 seconds to prepare. You have 20 seconds to prepare of what you need to say. Okay, but in the speaking task, you are not, there are no pen or paper will be given to you. So you need to actually draft and think everything inside your mind. Okay, what should you talk about? What should you say? Okay, here, the question already give you guides of what you should say, what you should talk about. Okay, first, you should mention where. Okay, where? Obviously, it refers to place. Okay, you should tell the panel, the assessor and interlocutor, where do you go for an outing with your friend? Where is the place that you went to for outing with your friend? Okay, it might be in, okay, please be specific. Where is it? For example, in Melaka, I think the hotspot for outing will be Dataran Pahlawan in Bandar Hilir, Mahkota Parade in Bandar Hilir, okay? Or in Pantai Klebang, Pantai Putri. Okay, be specific of the name of place. Okay, second thing, second bullet, okay, what you did. Okay, what you did is referring to the activities that you have done there. Okay, let's say you went for an outing at shopping mall with your friend. So what did you do? Okay, what is the activities you did at the shopping mall? Okay, you can say that you watch movies, you had lunch, or you do some shopping with your friends. Okay, the activity. Okay, talk about the activities that you done. Okay, and the third bullet, if you enjoyed yourself. Okay, enjoyed is referring to the feeling. Okay, do you feel happy? Do you enjoy, or are you excited with your friends? Do you feel thrilled to go out with your friends? Okay, if yes, see here. Now you need to give justification. Yes, why? No, why? Okay, you can say, oh, I didn't really enjoy myself there because, okay, why you can't enjoy yourself to the fullest when you go out with your friends. Okay, you can say that, oh, I'm not really well that day. Okay, or or I'm on tight budget, so I can't spend much. So I can't really enjoy myself that. Okay, another question. How long does the interlocutor give you time to think about a certain answer? Okay, as I mentioned, when you receive the task, you will have 20 seconds to think. 20 seconds to think. Okay, 20 seconds is not very long. Okay, 20 seconds is not very long. So, okay, please use it to the fullest. Okay, until the interlocutor asks you to speak, so do think about everything. Think as much vocabulary that you can come out with. Okay, and then the last bullet. Okay, having good friends in life is important for children's social development. Good friends and children's social development. Okay, this part will ask you about your opinion. Okay, usually the fourth bullet or the last bullet in part 2 will ask you to give your opinion. Okay, your opinion can be in positive or negative form. But remember, you need to give reason or justify. Okay, let's say you can say that friend is not really important for children's social development because friends can give bad influence, such as it might influence the children to do to attempt to commit some social problem. Okay, you can do negative question, you can do negative response like that, and you can also give positive response. Yes, having good friend is important for children social development because they will learn how to interact with people. Okay, that will be first I'll give you the negative feedback, the negative response. Okay, second, I'll tell you about the positive response. So for opinion based, okay, there is no right and wrong schema here. Your opinion is yours. So your teacher, the interlocutor and assessor cannot say, no, your opinion is wrong. Okay, do not worry. Okay, when it is based on opinion, your opinion is true to you. So we, interlocutor and assessor, cannot penalize or judge you based on what kind of opinion you give. Okay, do not worry about that. Okay, stay true to your opinion. Okay, this is basically the draft. Okay, the draft. Okay, this will be referring to the sample just now and outing with friends. Okay, where, as I mentioned, where, so you should put the place there. Okay, maybe Dataran Pahlawan. Oh, sorry. Pahlawan. Bandar Hilir. Okay, activities. What do you did there? Activity 1. Maybe watch movie. And second, shopping. Okay, if you want to tell more about your activity, okay, you can simply insert lunch there. Okay, if you enjoy yourself there, yes or no, why or why not? Okay, why and why not, this one will be referring to yes or no only. So you can say yes because, okay, why? Give reason, give justification. Okay, and then last bullet, having good friend in life is important for the children's social development. Okay, yes or no, give reason. A family member you admire. Okay, admire here referring to maybe respect, looked up for. Okay, the one that you really like, that you really love. Okay, so here, talk about a family member whom you admire. Again, the task will give you guides of what you should say. Okay, for this sample, the guides given are who. So you should mention maybe. So you should put nouns or name here. Okay. Okay, second bullet. What the person looks like. Okay, here you need to give description. Okay, when we are talking about description, obviously you need to give lots of adjective. Okay. Number 3. Why you admire this family member? So you need to give reason. Okay. And last one, ways to show that you care for this person. Let's say you said you admire your mother. Let's say you admire your mother. So how? Okay. How you want to show that you love your mother? By doing what? Okay. So this is basically it. Okay. So let's proceed. Okay. This will be the draft of how you should answer for this type of question sample. Okay. Who this person is. So you can mention that. Okay. The family members the family members I admire the most is, you can say, my mother. Name Zawiyah. Or you can say the family members who I admire the most, is Zawiyah binti Taib. She is my mother. Okay, you can put that way, or you can say, okay, the person I admire the most is my mother. Okay, give the name. Okay, the name of the person. As I mentioned, always give extra information. Okay, it will make your speaking become interesting. Okay, and then second bullet, second guide, what this person looks like. Okay, here you can just simply give physical description. Okay, looks like. Here you can say that my mother is petite. Okay, petite means very small. Okay, cute one. And then description number 2, you can say that maybe your mother have fair skin, long hair. Okay, that will be some of the description. Or you can say that petite, tall, slim. Okay, it's up to you. How that person looks like. Physical description. Okay, then reason. Why you admire this family member? Why you admire your mother? Obviously, you will have tons of reason for that, isn't it? Okay, you can say that it's the kindest person. Okay, or you can also say second reason is she is always very patient with you. Okay, and then number 4, ways to show that you care for this person. How do you show your love to your mother? You can say, okay, give present, or help with chores. Or if you have any other answer, okay, you can say, okay, you can give your own answer. All right, okay. Moving on to part 3, discussion. Okay, discussion will take around 4 to 5 minutes for both of you to discuss. Okay. Okay, for part 3, here you are required to give reason and explaining your point. Okay, you will talk about a point and you need to explain and then give reasons. Okay, you also need to exchange information and opinion with your partner, with your pair. discussion, isn't it? When we are talking about discussion, obviously you need to exchange opinion and information, and at the same time, okay, justify and express your opinion. Okay, just discussion is not one-way communication. Discussion is two-way communication. Okay, you talk about your point, you ask for agreement, and your partner can agree or disagree with you, and he can contribute his points. Okay, so the discussion will look like actual discussion. Okay, it is not just simply you are telling your topic and your partner tells his topic. Okay, then negotiate agreement. Okay, at the end of part 3, okay, you need to come out with a decision. Okay, so in order to get a decision, in order to get an agreement, again, discuss, okay, justify opinion, okay, or suggest an alternative here. Okay, respond to suggestion, give or respond to suggestion. Okay, you should not simply say, okay, yes, I agree with you, and then you stop the discussion. Okay, you should be like, I agree with you, but I think, okay, this one is better. Why? And then your partner will discuss with you. Yes, that's right. But, okay, however, okay, so keep the discussion going. Okay, do not stay silent, do not stay quiet. As long as you have time, as long as the time has not end, keep on talking. Okay. Okay, this is the step of how part 3 should, the flow of part 3. Okay, the flow of part 3. Okay, first of all, okay, you will receive the question. Okay, you will receive actually in form of mind map actually. Okay, you will receive the task, the topic, and also the points given. Okay, and the interlocutor again will give you 20 seconds to think of the point, to prepare yourself for part 3. Okay, and then to start. Okay, to start part 3, okay, first you need to greet your partner. Okay, candidate A can start or candidate B can start here. Either one. Okay, it doesn't matter who start first, but okay, start with greeting your partner. Okay, good morning candidate A, how are you? Okay, and then candidate A answered, okay, I'm good, what about you? Okay, and then after you greet your partner, you should straight away go for the topic, state the topic. Okay, let's say the candidate can say, okay, today we need to talk about, okay, online shopping. Okay. So online shopping. So once you say the topic, you can straight away talk about the first point and give reason. Okay, I think online shopping is good because, okay, we do not have to leave our home. Okay, reason, okay, we can just simply use the apps and the item will be sent to our home. Okay, judicator writes, okay, question from judicator. Teacher, what if you started arguing each other that both of us don't give, okay, that both of us don't give a chance to stay quiet? Okay, good question, the judicator who writes, I hope I pronounce your word correct, your name correctly. Okay, for the discussion session, you have limited time of 2 minutes. Okay, even if you argue with your friend, it should be a good argument. Okay, good argument. Okay, and let's say you argue until 2 minutes, and then the interlocutor will stop you. Okay, and then interlocutor will say that, okay, you have another minute to make a decision. Okay, let's say once you proceed to the last 1 minute and you still argue with each other, that will be a bit risky because it gives the impression that both of you cannot make a decision. So it's good to argue, it's good to keep the discussion going, but at the end of the conversation, at the end of the session, whatever it is, please come with an agreement. Okay, please make a decision. Please make conclusion. If both of you cannot make a decision, okay, you will have an impression, okay, both of them cannot convince each other. Okay, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, whatever it is, at the end of part 3, please come with a conclusion. Okay, which one is more convincing? Let's say, adjudicators, you think that your point is more solid, it is your points is the most important one. So whatever it is, before the end of part 3, make sure you convince your friend to accept your points. Okay, make sure. And okay, make sure within that 2-3 minutes. Okay, yeah, okay, thank you, adjudicator Harwitz. Okay, give reason. Okay, once you give reason, you can say you can ask your friend, okay, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Usually my student will say, okay, do you agree with me? You agree with me? And then the next candidate will say, yes, I agree with you, or no, I don't agree with you. I think, okay, so if your partner agrees, if he agrees or disagree, okay, he needs to return to this point, give opinion, give reasons, and then ask again. Okay, ask, agree or disagree. Okay, this will be the flow. How to keep the interaction going. You give opinion, reason, ask your partner whether he or she agree or disagree. Okay, and then he state his stand or her stand, and he give the opinion. Okay, until the end of 2 minutes, and the interlocutor say, okay, your 2 minutes has ended. Okay, now you have 1 minute to make decision. Okay, after the 2 minutes ended, okay, you will have 1 minute to make a decision here. Make conclusion or decision. Okay, based on the points that you have discussed within the 2 minutes, okay, please agree on only one. Okay, this is referring to what adjudicators asked just now. Okay, good argument, good discussion. Okay, but whatever it is, at the last 1 minute, at the second phase of part 3, where you have 1 minute to make decision, please come out with one. It will show that both of you are able to make a conclusion. Both of you are able to make decision. Okay, for what you have discussed. Okay, it will, as I mentioned, it is a bit risky if you cannot come out with conclusion or decision. Okay, all right. Okay, here now I'll share some useful expression that you can use for each step in part 3. Okay, let's say to greet your partner. In order to greet your partner, maybe you can start by saying, okay, hi, hello. Ataupun, and then mention, sorry, I use Malay just now. Okay, hi or hello, then mention your partner, the name of your partner. Okay, let's say I say hello or good morning, adjudicators, or good morning, Jane, good morning, Khadijah. Okay, that will be the expression that we can use. Okay, it's up to you. Or I can say, okay, good morning, Assalamualaikum. Okay, but remember to mention the name of your partner. Okay, then step 2. Okay, this is step 1. Okay, step 2. Okay, state the topics or open discussion or start the discussion. Okay, some useful expression that you can use to state the topic will be, okay, let's talk or discuss about, okay, mention what is the topic. Okay, and then, or you can start by saying, let's begin, or let's start by looking at, okay, the topic. Let's move on to, okay, today we are going to talk about, okay, Okay, make sure whatever the phrase you start in front, you need to state the topic. Okay, it will make it clear to the assessor and the interlocutor the topic of your discussion. Okay, how do you think about this topic? Okay, should we start talking about this? Okay, or to begin with, shall we talk about online learning now? Okay, whatever it is, okay, make sure to mention the topic of your task in part 2. Okay, step 3, give reason and opinion. My opinion is, okay, because, okay, if I were him, I would, okay, why? For me, I think that, okay, again, justify. Okay, make sure here you plus with reason, justification, reason, justify, okay, or explained, elaborate, okay, you name it. Okay, so when you give your opinion, always supported with reason. Okay, these are some of the expressions you can use. Okay, to be honest, I think we should, okay, perhaps we should, and then we, okay, and it is great if we can, okay, it is a good idea that we, okay, mention your opinion. Okay, all right. Okay, step 4. Step 4 is where you ask your partner whether he or she agrees or disagree with you. Ask if your partner agree. Okay, you can start by, okay, how about you? What about you? What do you think? What is your opinion about this? Okay, all right. Okay, do you think it is important too? Okay, will you agree that? Do you agree with me? Do you think so? Okay, this is how you ask for your partner whether he agrees or disagree. Okay, we have another question here. Teacher, let's say there are 6 questions and 3 of them are harder than others, and our partner forces us on the harder question. Should we try to balance it out, or should we keep quiet and avoid turning it into an argument? Okay, thank you. Nice one. Okay, this has happened actually with my student. Okay, obviously when you see things, when you see points which is maybe includes some vocabulary that you are not familiar with, you will try as much to avoid it. Okay, but for my student, okay, this will be a trick. Okay, I am not sure whether your teacher encouraged this or not. For my students, they are average 1. So out of 6, I usually ask them to talk about only 4. Okay, 2 each. Okay, and if they have time, if they are confident enough, okay, then they can talk about all 6.3 and 3. Okay, here the trick is that for the harder point, you can actually talk about it in very simple manner. Okay, do not elaborate more. Just maybe elaborate it in one sentence, or okay. If you are confident with the points, if the points easy, okay, you should talk more. You have 2 minutes to talk. Okay, if you have time to talk about all 6 points, then go ahead. But my student usually for the 2 minutes, they are not able to finish up 6 points. Okay, that's why I ask them to only do 2 points each. Okay, should we try to balance it out, or should we keep quiet and avoid turning it into an argument? Okay, during your speaking test, okay, you should not argue about, okay, yeah, this is hard. Why you give this point to me? Okay, I cannot talk about this. Not that kind of argument. Okay, the argument here in part 3 is, okay, I think my point is right. Do you agree with me? Okay, if you do not agree, why? Okay, for Kane, I think it's you should balance it out with your friends. okay, maybe if you can talk about the difficult points, at least talk about it in 1 or 2 sentences. It's enough. Okay, it is enough. At least you mentioned it. 1 or 2 sentences about the points will be enough. Okay, and your friends, I think your partner will also talk about it in 1 or 2 sentences and will not argue much about that. Okay, if it is a very difficult point, and I think both of you do not wish to further argue about it, so what you can do is just give simple explanation about it in 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, moving on to step 5. Okay, step 5, agree or disagree. What you should say if you agree with your friends, with your partner, or what you should say if you disagree with your partner. Okay, if you agree, these are some expression that you can use. Yes, I totally agree with you. Yes, I quite agree with you. I think you are right. Actually, I think you are right. Or you can say, yes, it is a very good idea. Okay, or if you disagree, you can say, actually, I don't really agree. Or you can say, I'm afraid I don't agree. Or say, I'm sorry, but I disagree with you. Or you can say, I'm sure it is better because, okay, do you really think that? Okay, so these are some expression you can use when you want to express your agreement or disagreement with your partner. Okay, 6, last one, the last step to conclude or to make decision. Okay, this will be at the end of part 3. Okay, at the end of part 3 where you have 1 minute to make decision. Okay, for this part, for part 3, for the second phase of part 3, okay, here, I think you no longer have time to actually argue or to argue more with your friends. Okay, part 3 for 1 minute is very short. Okay, this is where you need, I think we should choose this point. Okay, and then your friends will say that, yes, I agree with that. So our decision is, okay, mention the points. Okay, 1 minute is very short, isn't it? Okay, next one. When you are talking or when you are giving your point, okay, do not forget to use fan voice and also cohesive devices. Okay, fan voice stand for F for A for and, N is for nor, B for but, O for or, Y is yet, and S is so. Okay, I think this one's you are familiar with this. And cohesive devices will be examples of cohesive devices. Firstly, secondly, however, furthermore, in addition. Okay, make sure you use that kind of word. Okay, to further explain. Okay, apart from that, aside from that. Okay, cohesive devices, I know you have learned it in your class, so make use of it. Okay, this will be the sample question for part 3. Sorry. Okay, for part 3, the topic is, why do people shop online? Okay, why is referring to the reason. The reason people shop online. So you have 6 points here. Okay, see, before you start your discussion, you have 20 seconds, right? You have 20 seconds to prepare. So use the 20 seconds, okay, to decide which point you are going to talk about, which point your friend is going to talk about. Okay, you can say Okay, no crowd, candidate A. Time saving, candidate B. Okay, better price, go back to candidate A. And then convenient, candidate B. Okay, and then you only left with another two points. If you have time, do quickly talk about it in very simple sentence. Okay, maybe one or two sentence. Okay, here go back to candidate A or B. Okay, if you manage to talk about everything, then it is good. But keep in mind you only have 2 minutes to discuss. Okay, for each point you need to justify. You cannot simply say, okay, people shop online because there is no crowd. Okay, you cannot stop there. At least you should explain a bit why there are no crowds. Okay, there are no crowd because they shop at the leisure at their home. Okay, so explain, give explanation a bit. Okay, for example, this one, wide variety. Okay, people shop online because there are wide variety that they can choose at the same time. Okay, wide variety. Okay, you can refer to Shopee, Lazada, Zalora. Okay, so you do not need to go to each store, but you can check out the wide variety at the end of your fingertips. Okay, follow the trend. Okay, this one obviously you are influenced by the trend on social media. Okay, the latest fashion item. Okay, all right. Or the current trend in Malaysia is focusing on online shopping, online store. So you can say about that. Okay, the current trend is people are more opting for online store. Okay, this will be sample answer of the step of what you should. Maybe this is okay. Again, this is a sample. So this is very simple sample. And if you have practiced it with your teachers before this, so just straight away proceed with it. Okay, continue proceed with it. This will be just a basic sample. Okay, first, okay, this is what we call as greeting. Okay, this is step 1. Okay, state the topic will be step 2. Points and justification. This is step 3. Okay, ask for partner agreement. Step 4. Okay, I don't really agree. This is step 5. Okay, step 5. See, after step 5, the partner will give his point. Okay, this goes back to part 3. Step 3. Okay, step 3. Okay, and then once you give result, sorry, I think I need to use different colored then. It's yellow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Okay, after step 5, okay, it goes back to step 3. Okay, and then here, step 4. Okay, step 4. After step 4, it goes to step 5. Okay, and then that is how it's actually the rotation of step. Okay, done. Okay, this will be the first phase. Okay, this is phase 1. Okay, and then phase 2. Okay, phase 1, 2 minutes. 2-minute discussion. Okay, and then phase 2. This is phase 2. Phase 2 is where you have 1 minute for decision making. Okay, first you mention in phase 2 you need to mention, okay, both agree. Okay, state your agreement. Okay, which point mention which point? Okay, will you agree with that? 4. Okay, and then your partner agree. Okay, point A, this is number 6. Done. Okay, that's the step. If you know the step, then your discussion will flow smoothly. Okay. Okay, make sure you have the step, the rotation, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Go back to step 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and in phase 2 of your part 3, okay, start with 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is how the sequence should be. Okay. Okay, this will be the last part of my session. Okay, the common issues in speaking test. Okay, the most common issues are, okay, this is actually from what I see in my students. Okay, teacher, I tend to make the answers longer than it should have been. Should I focus on making the answer shorter or should I stick to my original answer? Okay. For part 3, it's not actually about how many points, let's go back to part 3. Okay. Okay, let's say you have 6 points here. Okay, for part 3, it is not about how many points you are able to speak. It is about, okay, how you speak about the point. Okay, let's say, Ken, you have the tendency to speak longer, to give longer answer, and within the 2 minutes you can only speak about 2 points, then it's okay. Okay, for part, we are not counting how many points you are talking about. We are talking about how you deliver your points, how you state, how you justify your opinion, okay, how you explain your thought. Okay, remember the number of points is not the it's not the priority here. Okay, this is speaking test, so we focus more on your ability to speak your point. Okay, just stick to what you have practiced with your teacher again. Okay. All right, common issue that I found is some candidate in the speaking test room, they tend to speak very slow, and okay, it sounds unclear sometimes. Okay, the student did not speak clearly and do not answer the question. The question asks you about other topic and you talk about something else. It shows that you did not understand the question. Okay. Yes, you are welcome, Kim. Do not worry, okay? During the speaker session, just enjoy yourself. Okay, do not worry, do not fear. Okay, and then the third common issue is overusing words such as and, so, like, and also. And I need to mention this word too, but okay, this is some words that students tend to overuse. Okay, you might say, so here, to change it here, you can use other fanboys or cohesive devices. Okay, so use fanboys or cohesive devices. Okay. Okay, number 4, speaking in simple sentence list. Okay, before this I say, okay, you need to, if you do not have time or if you come across a very difficult points, okay, you should at least give 1 or 2, you should at least speak 1 or 2 sentences about it. Okay, I said sentence, I did not mention list. If you list it out, okay, online shopping is popular, no crowd. Okay, no crowd. If you just mention no crowd, then it become listing. Okay, you should at least say online, the people prefer online shopping because there are no crowds there. Okay, so you should make it as a sentence, not a point. Okay, don't worry, judicators. Okay, okay, we are focusing on your speaking, not counting your points. Okay. Okay, next, not using a variety of sentence structure. Okay, this will be relate to this one. When you do listing, it means that you are not using sentence structure. If you combine your sentence by using fanboys or connectors, then there you will have compound sentence and complex sentence. Okay, you can mix of the first language. Okay, this is very important. Okay, you should not mix the first language. Okay, this is English speaking test, so you should try your best to speak in English. Okay, extra notes before I end. Okay, please bear in mind, accent does not affect marks. Clarity is more important. Okay, my student always say, teacher, I do not have British accent. Teacher, I only have Malay, Manglish accent. Is it okay? So here, okay, remember, accent does not affect marks. What is important is your clarity. Okay, clarity means how clear you talk about how clear do you speak, how clear you state your opinion is. Okay, and then be mindful not to use Manglish suffixes. La, a, e, me, lor. Okay, sometimes you just actually it slips out. Okay, because you used to, but practice from now. Do keep on practicing so that you will not, okay, do this. You will not have slip of tongue there. Okay, during your speaking session, it is also good if you can speak your thought. Okay, speak your thought means, okay, if you come across the point and you think that is very difficult, you can say, oh, well, that is a tough one. Okay, that is a very difficult point. Okay, what should I say about this? Okay, whatever your opinion about the points, if you need to say it out loud, it will help you to actually, if you keep on talking about it, eventually the vocabulary, you will have the vocabulary to start talking the points in detail. And then here, treat the test like you are having a conversation with someone. Ease of communication. Okay, you should treat your speaking test as how you normally discussing with your friends. Let's say you are in class and then you need to plan for a class trip. So you will have a few suggestions of places, right? So imagine that you are discussing with your friend. Okay, I think we should go to Langkawi because of this. Okay, give reason. And then your friend says, oh, Langkawi is too far. Okay, and I think it's expensive. I think we should go to Melaka. Melaka is historical city. Okay, conversation. It is a conversation. You can. It is not very formal. You are speaking with your friends. So obviously, it won't be it won't be formal, right? So you can just have fun. Okay, have fun speaking with your friends. Okay, do not stress too much about it, but at the same time, mind your language, mind your grammar, your vocabulary, okay, the clarity of your voice, the clarity of your points. Okay. All right. Okay, that is the end of my session. Okay, if you have question, you can just sorry. If you have question, you can just keep on posting at the chat, and inshallah, if I have time, I will have a look at it and reply to it. Okay, thank you for being with me, and I wish you best of luck, and see you again in our next session. Assalamualaikum, and have a great weekend.